Hey horror fans, once again it's the Horror Miser Monty G here to do another movie review, and today I'm going to finally review the movie Unsane. Yes! Now, Unsane is a 2018 psychological horror film. It was written and it was edited, shot and directed by Steve Soderbergh. Now, I'm pretty sure that name sounds pretty familiar to you. He's done a lot of independent films. I saw a few of his films. One of the films I saw was a movie called Side Effects. That was a pretty good film. And now he's directed this film here, Unsane. It stars Claire Floyd, Joshua Leonard, and Jay Farrow. I've heard a lot of good things about this, and so finally I got a chance to see it this afternoon. And now here's my review of Unsane. Now, in the film, we have this woman named Sawyer. She is kind of an insecure woman. I think she fled Boston from a stalker that was stalking her for past 2 years, and she eventually seems to be doing pretty good when all of a sudden she believes she sees the guy that has been stalking her. She eventually decides to go into a counseling society, a counseling place, where she decides to tell these people, "Hey, look, I'm being stalked by this guy. What can I do to protect myself?" Unfortunately, unwittingly she commits herself to be held over for 24 hours because they think that she is a danger to herself and others. So she's there for 24 hours. Now, while at this facility, she actually believes that one of the orderlies is her stalker. She sucker punched him, which I thought was funny. You sucker punch him, and eventually she's going to be placed on a 7-day hold. Basically, throughout the film, we have to decide whether or not if that truly is her stalker, or is it all in her head? And that's basically what the premise of this film is about. Now, one of the fascinating things that I found about this film, that this was all shot on an iPhone 7 of all things. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Apple, but you got to give Soderbergh credit. This film looks pretty good. By the time you are looking at the film, you forget that this was shot on a smartphone. It's shot very well, edited very well, but that's Soderbergh for you. He does a good job in making you believe that this is shot by an ordinary camera and not with a little small smartphone. So you gotta give him credit for that. Another thing I liked about this film, how it looks. It kind of looks almost like a found footage movie. During the early parts of the film, it actually looks like that the stalker is actually watching Sawyer, because the way it looks like an actual phone or a found footage film where it's kind of glossy, kind of grainy. Looks like they didn't really do any editing in some certain parts of the film. Maybe she's right. Maybe that guy is actually still stalking her, especially in some parts of the film. So you got to give Soderbergh credit for how he shot this on an iPhone 7. Another great part of the film is the performance of Claire Floyd. She really does an outstanding job as Sawyer. She's desperately trying to get people to believe the fact that the stalker is there. Even when the truth is revealed, we don't know whether or not it is still in her head or not, but she does give an outstanding performance. Really very great performance by Claire Floyd in this movie. And eventually, like I said, she does great. So you start to believe to the fact that, hey, look, we got to, someone's got to do something for her because, we feel sorry for her. But it's been because of how well she performs in this movie. Another great thing about this film is the work of the co-stars in here. We have Juno Temple that plays Violet. She plays one of the patients in the film. She does a pretty good job. Joshua Leonard also plays a pretty good job. He plays the guy that she thinks that Sawyer thinks that's her stalker, that has stalked her before. But an outstanding performance by Jay Farrow as Nate. Her and Claire do have a great rapport of each other. They really have a great friendship, and we are pulling for these two that hopefully that maybe they will get the truth out. And he actually does believe Claire, and he also has there's a subplot involving him, which I thought was pretty fascinating too. But very good, outstanding performances by everybody in the film. Now, as I stated before, the film does have a subplot regarding the dangers of places at the place that Sawyer is staying at. Obviously, I don't know if this is true or not, but obviously some places do take advantages of people who might have some problems or some depressions, but they misdiagnose it or they do it purposely, saying that they're insane, but they truly are not insane, just so that they can get their money from the insurance company, keeping them there for 7 days, when the fact there's really nothing wrong with them. So the film does bring up that subplot about the dangers of places such as this. Again, Soderbergh does a very good job in showing the places. Like I said, it's shot very well. Inside the facility, it's very grainy, very glossy feel, very isolated place. Takes advantages of the iPhone 7, where obviously some of the people, you get real good close-up shots of Claire and Nate and everyone else in the facility, and then you get real good nice headshots in there, especially during the time when the Sawyer character is talking with the doctor and dealing with everybody else. So really gotta get credit for Soderbergh taking advantage of the iPhone 7's capabilities. And again, the film does a great job in trying to show whether or not is Sarah really believe that her stalker is there. Is that truly is her stalker, or is it really on her head mainly throughout the film, especially during the beginning at the end? Is there something really wrong with Sarah? Should she really try to get the help that she so desperately deserves, or does she actually have, or is she actually true? Is that the stalker? Because the film really does a good job in doing that. So I really give praise for that type of aspect of the film. Now, unfortunately, the only part I didn't like is how they showing the place and how they deal with mental patients. Now, I don't know if I doubt necessarily this is true, but some of the things they do, I really can't see that happening in a true place where they have people in a common room and it's co-ed, or when they have to restrain Sawyer. I don't think they would keep her in the same place where other people might suffer some other type of mental issues, especially if they're psychotic. I can't see them keeping a person strapped up in the same place that they're in the same place of others. So I don't think that's a true depiction of how places are run like that for people who are suffering from mental illness. I just can't see that happening. So I thought that's the one thing I really did not like about the film. So this was a pretty good film. I really did enjoy it. Very outstanding performances by Claire Floyd and Josh Farrow. All the co-stars are pretty good. Well, this was shot very expertly by Steven Soderbergh, again on the smartphone. So you got to give him credit like that. So again, I really enjoyed the film. I mean, other than the part where I didn't like about is that I don't think that's true how they treat mental patients in the facility. Other than that, I really did enjoy the film. So the Horror Miser is going to open up his vote, and I'm going to give Unsane 3.5 out of my 5 gold coins. Yes, I'm going to give Unsane 3.5 out of my 5 gold coins. And I really did enjoy this film. So, horror fans, have you seen Unsane? Do you think this was a great film, or do you think it was a bad interpretation of people who suffer from mental illness? Leave your comments down in your comment section below and tell me what you thought about Unsane. Yep, that's my video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, because once again, it does help the channel out. And once again, this is your first time here, you know what you got to do. That's right, hit that subscriber button, and definitely ring that notification bell. That way you can come and enjoy the horror experience with me, the Horror Miser Monty G. And as always, all my social media links will be down at the description box below as well. Once again, my name is Lamont Smith, better known as the Horror Miser Monty G. And always remember, horror rules. Ha ha ha.